Hey everybody, welcome back. Sorry, I've been shouting a lot today because it was Ludwig's Super Auto Pets Invitational. No! Tainted Lost Ubermom. Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind? Tainted Lost Ubermom. Okay. In other words, Tainted Lost Alt Path. Just pop this right away. Best change in the new patch. The ability to see if you have the Holy Mantle effect on your health bar, that's top tier. Like, that's great stuff. Anyway, not that a lot of the other things in the patch aren't also great stuff. We just gotta get in the groove here, okay? It is a Tuesday. We're grounding ourselves. It's Tuesday afternoon. It's around 3:55 p.m. And having a good day. Having a good day. You know what I like about this? What I like about this is that we can stand, even though it's a debuff in some ways, we can stand over top of rocks and so descend this way. So like it's a defensive choice for us. Now what we want to see happen is later we want to see something show up that ups our DPS, and if we don't get it, we're going to be very upset. George is getting upset. And on rooms, like, this one's not so bad, because Duke of Flies has no HP. Sorry, I'm so analytical, because first I was playing Super Auto Pets, doing commentary on the tournament, and then also now we're playing as Tainted Lost, who's, like, one of the hardest characters in the game. So it's not easy, you know? It's tricky. That's a very nice trinket here. We will go Alt Path. Okay. Yeah, there's something to this. I guess we should go to the shop always to see if we're going to get a holy card. That's a bit of a misstep. That could be a major misstep if the shop contained a holy card. But here's another piece of little trivia for you. What if, strategically speaking, what if I just chose not to get hit instead? What if instead of getting holy cards, I just didn't take any damage? How does that strike you? How does that sound? Good? Okay, glad to hear it. Nothing much going on, honestly. Just a normal week. And honestly, let me tell you, I kind of needed it. A week to just chill. I've talked about it before, but it's the adult cycle of life is I'm busy, but I won't be busy as soon as this one thing lets up. Then that one thing lets up and you go, I'm a little bit bored. Let's start taking like carpentry classes. Then you get busy, and you're like, oh, but this thing is going to end in like 2 weeks and then I can breathe. You take one breath and then you go, you know, let's fill that space. And then you're busy again. You know how it goes? I'm enjoying, I'm taking a pause to look at the fact that I have some space around me. Just not a ton, but I got a little breathing room around me, and I'm going, you know, like the way people feel after they eat a cough drop in a commercial. I'm going like, Ricola! This is our secret room. There can be no doubt of this. Thank you. I want to see a key. We did that all for 1 penny, which is a little bit of a slap in the face, but you know what? It does allow us to then go to the curse room. If we got this could be good, okay. And if we get an item in here, then I'm not sweating it. I'm not complaining in the slightest. And we got our key after all that. Okay. Dude, honestly, I feel like Tech X with the money laser might be like a little bit cracked. Or not Tech Tech 2 with Head of the Keeper might be a little bit cracked, is what I'm trying to say. We don't need to go to the shop. We don't need to go to the alt path on this floor. I would totally take the D6. We can go to we actually have to go to the alt path on the next floor because we went down on the first available opportunity. Okay. So, now is the hard part. Actually surviving this boss fight and preferably not getting hit at all. When I basically only against my will, under duress, ever go and fight these enemies. We should be on top of the rocks right now. It's going pretty well. I think patience is going to serve us well. Dude, Tech 2 and the laser is freaking rolling. Are you kidding me? Very good moves, good moves. This is kind of cracked, huh? This is kind of... No! After all that. After everything was fine. Everything was totally okay. I got hit by... Like, I just lost focus at the last second. Please, please, please. Okay. We're probably going to reroll you, but it's more important to reroll the Devil Deal. If the Devil Deal is garbage tier. The damage up is nice. I have no idea. You know, I think you kind of gotta just snag this. Doesn't really affect too much for us, but the damage up is really nice. That's a slap in the face. There is a part of me that's like, you know what, buy jumper cables, but I'm gonna abstain. For the time being, I'm gonna abstain. I don't think jumper cables is game-changing. We probably have more than enough money to make it happen, but still. You think they're gonna let me into that boss trap room? Do I even want to do a boss trap room on the alt path? Well, let's see what we got. Nope. No, I do not. You're basically gonna pay me the equivalent of what I make in one room anyway. Oh my god, I almost died. Not clickbait. Not clickbait, by the way. I almost died there. Okay. I mean, this is a real test. I mean, if I'm being honest with you, right? Like, I watch stream for like 10 minutes in the morning sometimes before I drop the baby off at daycare. And, you know, I watch Dan play some Isaac. I wouldn't say I'm getting, like, nostalgic, because I'm still playing the game myself, obviously, like, literally as we speak. I'll just be dead if that's cool. No, we made it. I'm alive. You love to see it. But it's fun now that he's gone through, like, the really kind of obvious easy stuff in Isaac. Now he's starting to work on the stuff that's, like, actually genuinely difficult. Tainted Jacob, etc., etc. And it reminds me of what it was like to be hunting those runs. I kind of, you know, you get sick of it when you do it day in, day out. But it is fun to be in the mix a little bit. So I've been watching those, but then I'm also like, I don't know. I think I'm at like relatively peak Isaac for like my life. Like when I watch him play Isaac, I'm like, man, I miss when he played Tarkov. It's the ultimate be careful what you wish for moment. Mind you, the analytics, with Tarkov, I was like, man, you gotta get off of this game. It's killing you. He asked for the feedback, by the way. I wouldn't just say that, but to his face. But with Isaac, he's doing very well. It's just more of a me thing, and I accept that. I'll take a little brim. It's not a game changer, but it's good enough. And I'll take a tarot cloth, and the tarot cloth gives us the Empress, which is pretty good. Okay. But we're really like, I mean, you gotta give me the Holy card. It's basically what it comes down to. If you're not gonna give me the Holy card, what the heck are we doing here? Especially knowing we gotta do like alt path shenanigans. Like somehow we gotta beat Ubermom. All the rocks are spikes as well. And the skies are gray. Yes, yes. And the skies are gray. I know. Let me guess. You went for a walk on a winter's day. Okay, dude, we're pretty strong. I'll take a Tears upgrade. I'm gonna tell you, I think I prefer Perfection. We can't lose it. 10 luck versus a little Tears. It's kind of sobering that it's even close. But it's true. I do think 10 of luck is probably better than like 0.4 Tears. Even when we're in this situation. But it is an automatic. Let me tell you that. So we're going to start by looking at our boss trap room again. I don't really want to do it, but I could be compelled. I don't think that's good enough without us being able to take the HP. Now we gotta dip into the other side. Oh, no we don't. Okay, thank you, by the way, for not killing me, which I guess you could have done there. I really appreciate it. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, like, this would be a great opportunity for me to... Ooh, did you see the speed of that shot? This would be a great opportunity for me, to an extent, to prove that, hey, I might be getting up there a little bit. I might be getting a little long in the tooth, as they say. But I still got it. I can still hang with the best of them when it comes to, you know, moment-to-moment Isaac gameplay. Maybe not the best of them, but, like, Better than you would, like, I would never step onto the basketball court of Isaac and you'd be like, whoa, this guy's better than Michael Jordan. But I might step on it, you might be like, you know, whoa, I didn't know Bill Murray could ball like that. I mean, he defeated the Monstars or whatever, but like apart from that. So I'm making a very scary decision. My decision is to try to fight the boss. The boss went down pretty easily, so like that's not worrying me too much. But it only takes one errant shot, you know, to really screw you up quite badly. So you just want to make sure you're playing it right. But as Tainted Lost, we're torn, right? Like Natalie Imbruglia, between constantly striving to min-max absolutely everything. You need absolutely everything to survive. And the real realization of things, which is that you actually don't really need that many things to survive. You need, like, as many holy cards as you can get, a way to recreate holy cards in the future via, like, the D1 or something. Blank card, etc., etc. That's it, man. I mean, doctors hate him. 2 simple tricks to, like, beat the game. With the hardest character. Now, the hard part is finding the stuff. I will take a speed upgrade. I think that is warranted. I will leave that behind. Now, don't forget to go alt path and don't walk into any spike rocks. I'm just gonna own something for you here. We're probably gonna die on the next floor. I do okay in this area here, the flooded whatevers, the flooded crawl spaces. The fire floor, the mines, is just disastrous. Like I am lost and all alone. I'm happy that we can fly, like that'll legitimately help out. Kind of comes standard, but still, okay. 2 bombs, 3 cents. This is the worst trade deal in the history of deals. But anything could happen, we could still make it happen. We just need a holy card. I just like, this run feels so different. If we don't get bodied, I'm making a decision. And just needlessly take damage against that boss last floor. Then I honestly think, like, I'm bantering now. I'm talking about, you know, Martin Scorsese movies. Instead, I'm floundering, looking for like anything to possibly get me there. Which, and really, it's not anything. It's just a holy card. Okay, thank you. Anything here? Maybe. Teleportation to a devil deal would hit the spot. Big part of this game right now is just threat analysis. You know? We walk into a room, who's gonna hit us? Get the heck out of the way and then hit them first. That's the play. I don't know. Actually, an arcade would be worth investing in if we get a slot, not a slot machine, a fortune teller. But we didn't. 2 pills. Even if this one wants to buy me flowers and this one wants to talk for hours, I say no. I say no. I got other stuff. You got another thing coming. I got other stuff on the go. Okay. If we don't get a holy card, how do we win? Well, there's no respawn items, right? So I think we just lose. Or we just get so strong that we never take damage, which is so unlikely. I guess the play there would be an invincibility item, like a Book of Shadows, and then just deploying it with perfect precision. Which, you know, if there's 2 words that really embody me... Okay, I don't know about that. Perfect precision would probably not be the ones. I'll be honest, I'm not sold on this, but it's kind of sick. Whether or not it's... Oh, that's really bad. I'm dead? Okay, that was fun. I honestly don't know what there was a time there I got stuck between rocks. And then after that, I lost complete track of my character. I think I might have gotten separated from Little Brim or something, and now I'm like, now we're going X Games mode. Now we're going for world record speedrun techniques, regular Isaac run. Okay, you had your fun, Edmund. I'm not mad, okay? It was a cool synergy. If anything, I'm only mad we lost it on, like, literally the room after we got the eyeball tears. Please keep in mind, we could have just taken something useless like the finger instead. We did have kind of like a laser beam build going. Anyway, Martin Scorsese movies. I gotta tell you, I haven't seen enough of them. I've seen Casino, I've seen Goodfellas, I've seen Raging Bull, I've seen The Departed. I've not seen The Irishman yet. I've seen The Wolf of Wall Street. I haven't seen Gangs of New York. That's really all I got. Okay, I'm back. Psychologically, I'm back. Mentally, where are you at right now without downloading new pictures? It always makes me laugh when I see those posts on Twitter. Like, I really... Maybe this is way too judgmental of me. And by maybe, I mean, like, absolutely. But I always thought that, like, stuff like... You know when you were a kid, did you ever make those fortune tellers out of paper? It was like a little pinwheel, and then you could put your thumb in it, and you could fold the paper in like 2 different ways, and people would say stop, then you'd unfold one of the papers, and it would be like, you know, you're gonna live in a mansion. You're gonna marry Cindy Crawford. I thought that kind of stuff would fall away after like the 2nd grade. It didn't really though, and what's weird is it actually migrated like up the demographic tree. Like whenever I see someone share one of those memes that's like, without downloading new photos, wink wink, where's your head at? It's always someone who's like a 45-year-old, like, industry executive. It's never like a 20-year-old. It's never the 17-year-olds are on Twitter posting like screenshots of them in their Porsche Caymans, going like, "Ayo, started from the bottom, now we here." The 35-year-olds are going, "Without my mental health is the dog that says this is fine." It's the dog that says this is fine. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's a very funny meme. Stop, stop. Look, I'm taking no prisoners, okay? True, true. This is true, true, true. I don't want that anymore. Yeah, I want that. Yeah. Should have used the death card at some point, but... Is it just 2 bone hearts, or is this... It's the Book of the Dead effect, is it not? Am I insane? Am I losing it? Maybe? Anyway. You know they're all downloading photos, right? They're all... Because I don't know about you. Maybe I'm just not a good photo taker. But, like, my camera roll on my phone is legitimately just photos of my baby. Like, there was a period where it was, like, photos of my cats. Now it's just photos of my baby. Legitimately. And then the occasional photo where my wife is like, "Hey, can you take a photo of this and then send it to me?" I don't have my phone on me. Like, literally, I would just get blown up if I... Hey, here's a photo of my mental health without downloading a new picture. It would just be like a picture of my baby being like, bleh. I think it says something, not about the people posting. You might think I'm, like, you know, trying to light up some boomers for just trying to reach out. I think it says something about the human need to belong. Don't you think? I think that's the and I don't think it's like the kind of impulse that needs to be burned out or anything like that. I just think it leads to a lot of problems. Like a lot of the things in human behavior, groupthink, you know, putting people inside of an out group, you know, tribalism, stuff like that. And that's like literally just, I guess, different names for the same thing. But I think so much of it is born out of just a need to feel like you're part of the crew, right? You know, like, why would you share those memes? One would be, like, you want to make people laugh. The other one is, like, you know, you want people to be like, haha, funny use of the meme. Like, you fit in with our tribe, right? Think about that. Like, I think one of the reasons that, like, you know, profile picture NFTs have become, like, a topic you can't discuss unless you're, like, going in on them and suggesting that they're the sole cause of environmental decline is tribalism on both sides, you know? I've gone in on NFTs before because anytime I talk about them, you get the same kind of, like, you know, caricature of people, like 17 people with an ape avatar come into your mentions that are like, stay broke forever, and then, you know, you check their public Ethereum wallet and their net worth is like 3 figures, and you're like, why are you trying to flex like you're, you know, from my favorite Martin Scorsese movie, just kidding, The Wolf of Wall Street, even though it is good. Like, why are you trying to flex like that when you're, like, you know, you don't even know what you're talking about? But the flip side of that is, like, literally you can't even talk about it on the other side. with like being like maybe in the future when things move to like a more carbon neutral type of like blockchain implementation, maybe there will be a way that these can be implemented in order to, I don't know, make like I don't even know enough to know what I'm talking about. But even just that is like, no, you can't say that. It's like the opposite side of it is not as annoying, but also just like, you know, it is to me more of a signal that like this is the side of the coin that I'm on with respect to this issue than it is actually like a discussion that has any merit with it. You know, we can't find the middle ground on anything anymore as and not even a middle ground like the exact midpoint between two issues. Like, we can't even have like a conversation with somebody we disagree with anymore without being like, no, actually, like, you know, you're on Team A, I'm on Team B, you know how it goes, we can't talk to each other. Don't care, didn't ask, plus you voted for Kodos. Now, I'm not trying to delineate like the both sides fallacy, I'm merely suggesting that for a lot of issues, even you see it in politics all the time, but you also see it now in like gaming, man. People will be like, don't care, didn't ask, plus your favorite Smash game is like, you know, Brawl. Like, hey, come on, man, why you gotta bring that divisive rhetoric to the gaming industry? It's unnecessary. I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm not going in. Anyway, I don't know the solution. I don't even know if I know the problem. So people will be like, you don't care, didn't ask, plus, you know, you're not even proof of stake. I'm spitballing. I'm just balling the spit right now, man. But I think they're cut from the same cloth, you know? People want to buy, like, you know, they want to spend $5,000 on JPEG profile picture images, partly because they, you know, think that they can sell it for $10,000 in 6 weeks, but also partly because they're like, my friends do this, and now I'm like in a group with them, and we have our own lingo, and we make fun of, you know, the people who say like, I right-click saved as, you know. And then on the other side, you know, that's what I'm saying. It's all born out of this like human desire to like get in with the group of people, and then like as soon as you're in, you draw like a line around you, and you're like, everybody else is out. Start talking. As soon as you start talking with your own abbreviations and acronyms that nobody could possibly like figure out what they are for themselves, like that's where you're like, we've taken it one step too far, I think. Anyway, here we go. We're gaming. Had a great time today, but it feels like we're on our second video because we died on that Tainted Lost run. But had a great time today in the Super Auto Pets tournament. Had a wonderful time. Great to be involved with so many streamers continuing to support the meteoric rise of Super Auto Pets, a game that, like, I'll be now, like, we had a brief moment of positivity. Time to get a little cynical again. A game that's not getting the support from Jeff Keighley's The Game Awards that like, okay, look. They did Game of the Year nominations today for the Game Awards, okay? I don't remember precisely what was on the list. I do know that there is Resident Evil Village. There is Deathloop. Hold on, one moment, please. I will check the rest. I got the picture right here. There is It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, and Psychonauts 2. Now look, I mean no disrespect, okay? I mean no disrespect. Super Auto Pets is better than Deathloop. Minimum. At a minimum. That's like the only game on the list I think I've played. I'm not saying it deserves to win at like a consumer, you know, all audiences sort of like generalizable Game of the Year award, but come on. And it's not even nominated for Best Indie Game Award. You know, best indie game is probably gonna go to like it's a worse version of Dark Souls, but it's admirable because it was made by 16 people instead of 600. Okay, am I going off? Am I making enemies? Maybe. I'm just saying, I'm tired of Super Auto Pets being overlooked because it has a simple design and a very simple art style license from the Android emoji keyboard. Okay. It puts some respect on Team Wood Games. They made the most addictive game of 2020, okay? 2021, I mean. That's the year that we exist in. Give me a key, please. Screw you. I'm not afraid to sing its praises. And I'll tell you, I'm in a weird position, okay? My games of the year, 2021, this is no joke. Inscription is up there. I don't know where it is. I haven't finished it yet. We'll finish it on stream this week, I'm sure. Super Autopets is number 1. I've never been... At some point, people have got to acknowledge I don't just counterpick games of the year. Like, I've had a kind of an out-of-left-field game of the year pick for multiple years running now. You know, like we did Slay the Spire, which, you know, I think is actually aged pretty well. And then Tetris 99. You can't be Tetris 99. It's got to be, you know... I was going to say Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, but I'm not trying to knock Tropical Freeze. They just didn't come out the same year. I'm a mechanics-driven guy. I like mechanics-driven games. Very, very rarely is my favorite game of the year the game that also ends up winning, like, you know, best game of the year from 700 magazines that only give 10 out of 10s to third-person action games. You know, I'm rarely in that same boat, okay? And that doesn't make me superior. It just makes me a dissenting voice or an alternative voice. Super Autopets is my perfect game of the year pick right now. It's super replayable. It's addictive. And I'm associated with it. So it's got a lot working out in his favor from my own selfish perspective right now. And I will always push back on the idea that Game of the Year has to either be like a sequel to or the next iteration in a franchise that you've been playing since you were 8, or a third-person action game that's heavily inspired by Shadow of the Colossus for the 700th year running. I've got nothing against those games. I'm just saying... I'm not mad those games are getting praised. I'm mad that they soak up almost all of the praise, and then, like... I mean, I'm not, like, the indie game guy. But I do feel sometimes, like, there's now 2 different spheres of indie, right? There's, like, the sphere of indie that I'm running in right now, where I'm like, legitimately, I'm having an amazing time playing Alt F4, a bit of a meme game developed by like one individual or just a small team of individuals. And I'm just gonna take this down, man, because I'm going off right now. Maybe we'll do Boss Rush, Copium. And like the indie scene that seems to largely be recognized by these general audience awards shows, which is basically like, hey, Ubisoft is like they're using us as like a developer to publish something under their like Ubi Indie label or whatever, but actually we have like $250 million of funding. Pardon me. It's just a dry throat. It's not, it's just from shouting, man. I can feel the old pharynx munching up there. I'm getting way more into the very small type stuff lately. So I love indie games, don't get me wrong. If there's a criticism I would levy, a lot of the times, I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like over the years, to an extent, as indie games have actually grown to be like much larger, I feel like some of them have lost character. You know, you see it a lot, like an indie developer comes out, they release their first game, it's very well received, and then you wait years and years for what comes out next, and it's kind of like a little bit more slept on when it's released. That's not always like the way it should be, by the way. I think a great example of that is I genuinely feel like FTL is a masterpiece, but Into the Breach also a masterpiece. But you'll never be able to have a conversation about how good Into the Breach is without hearing people being like, yeah, but it's not as good as FTL. Like, I didn't realize that if you produce one 11 out of 10 game, then it makes all of your subsequent 10 out of 10 games look worse by comparison, even if they're not even related to one another except through their creator. But the flip side of that is I do think that there's a lot of indie development. It's like records, right? You know, they have like an amazing idea. They work on it. They bootstrap it. They get it out. And then for their second game, they're crushed under the weight of increasing expectations. And, you know, they lose some of the character trying to like recapture the mass appeal they only accidentally got their first time out by making a game that so many people loved. It's like, it's almost, sometimes it feels like as a creator, if you're making something that you think people will like, it ends up losing a lot of its character. And the best way to make something that a lot of people love is to make something that you think you'll like, and then see if it resonates. Now, it's not a tried, tested, and true strategy for, you know, foolproof success. I'm just saying a lot of the times when you're like, oh, I got to do it this way because this is what people want, people go, oh, this is like kind of bland and flavorless. When you're like, I would like a game that does this, that's where you end up getting the, you know, the stuff that it seems to really shine. So I like that micro indie side, you know, where you can really feel the character of the game shine through, much more than like, you know, we're trying to make Horizon Zero Dawn, but we don't have the same budget as Horizon Zero Dawn. Anyway, again, as always, my negative is really just a positive or at least a neutral opinion, but me having the inability to take the time to phrase it deftly enough to not cause offense. I'm just, I don't know. Every year the same conversation I have, and I always come to the same resolution, which is why am I getting anal about the Game Awards? It's literally like, it's not the Oscars. It's literally just, I mean, I don't know what you want. Now it's genuinely rude. I'm like, it doesn't, I don't think it has prestige attached to it. I think it's an entertaining night to watch. But no one's like, you know, I mean, it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, so please stop criticizing it. I don't know, maybe some people are. I don't run in those circles. Thank you. I don't like this room. Ah, never mind, it's fine. Look, I'm not trying to throw all third-person action adventure games out either. Keep Dark Souls. Keep Dark Souls, keep Sekiro. And Ghosts of Tsushima? Sure, whatever. I don't care. Go for it. Okay. I don't know here. I'm hoping... I want Diplopia, but I don't want to give up the D6 to get it. So I will not. And it is one of those situations we'd rather have a deal with the devil, but we kind of hope we don't get one because it'll look bad for not taking Diplopia. But we got so much HP, like we're sitting very, very pretty here. Anyway, so again, I'm not really sure like why I care. I don't know. I guess you know why I care is because I identify as like I'm putting myself in the tribal camp here as well. I identify as somebody who's got their finger on the pulse of the indie scene, and then when I looked at like the best indie releases, I'm like, these aren't, I mean, I'm not trying to be gatekeepy, this is just bad phrasing, but like, those are not that indie. Like, I'm not saying like it should be the indiest game of the year should be the award, but I'm like, this is not that indie, this company's worth like $100 million. Like, you know, I mean, the Game Awards, best indie game. Like, I guess I'm at the point where I feel like the best indie game awards, like a lot of these companies should be like, looped in to just Game of the Year. Like, in some ways, the Game Awards Best Indie Game feels like a, it feels like a slap in the face. It's like, you don't even stand a chance to be nominated for Game of the Year, but hey, we can at least put you in, like, you know, Best Indie Game or whatever. Okay, I'm checking the website as we speak. I'm gonna view all categories. Indie Game of the Year. Best debut indie. That's kind of cool. We got Valheim, Kena Bridge of Spirits, which looked amazing. Forgotten City, Sable, The Artful Escape. Look, I'll give you Sable, okay? But there's probably, I don't know, maybe I have a bias against indie games. Just like, that looks too good. That can't be an indie game. Come on. Best Indie. Okay, Best Indie. 12 Minutes, Death's Door, Inscription, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Loop Hero. Look, I'm not knocking any of those games in many ways. Put some respect on Super Auto Pets' name. Just because it doesn't tell a taut story about, you know, changing relationships dynamics between a husband and a wife, and Willem Dafoe shows up as a police officer or whatever. Like, just because there's cute animals in there, you're going to hold that against it? Same reason Sausage Party didn't win Best Picture. People were like, oh, it's just a movie about horny hot dogs. Nah, man, there's a lot of pathos. Not really, I've never seen it, honestly, but it felt like an apt comparison. What are you talking about? I don't know, old man yells at cloud. Like, did anybody on the jury play Super Auto Pets? That's all I'm asking. I'm not actually mad, I'm just like a little incensed. Now, you can be incensed without having a reason, which is the main difference. Okay, Pope Het, I'll take it. The Miter. It's just like, Does nobody else see how fricked this is? Now let me. Hold on. We got 16 minutes. We're on the depths too. You peace. We're on the depths too. Is 16 minutes. We don't have a key. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to go to the shop. This really. No, you know what? No, I'm not. We got a reroll. We're ready to go. We got it full HP. What are we gonna buy from the shop? Anything useful? Possibly. I suppose it's theoretically possible. But this run is actually like pretty good. We got a really good rate of fire. We got great attack, or great damage. I call it an attack. He's fully super auto pets build. We're about to get a deal with the devil. We have a reroll available. Like, everything's gonna be fine. Just enjoy it, man. One thing that's, like, weird about... maybe it's not that weird about me, but sometimes people will hear me speak in this rhetoric, or they'll hear me go on a bizarre 40-minute rant about, like... how much I don't really like James Corden, and they'll be like, oh, he's in a bad mood today. It's actually like, I'm so twisted that the Joker's just like a normal guy to me. The more things go well for me, I think, in my real life, the more comfortable I feel leaning into that villainous role on the microphone. Like Vanilla Ice said, who's one of my favorite gangster rappers, he's not afraid to rock the mic like a vandal, one of the most heinous crimes out there. And that's me. I think a lot of Vanilla Ice songs embody me, but I don't want to tell you that because I don't want to scare you. Have you think like, whoa, this guy is dangerous to be around? You should really start to be concerned if I show up on stream one day and I'm like, holy pog, guys, did you see the awards for the nominations for the Game Awards? 10 great games got nominated for Game of the Year. So excited. The one thing I know is whoever wins, it's the real winner is going to be the viewer in the audience for being at such an epic night. Very pog, very champ, coming this like, if you ever see me come on the stream like that, I have been committed to a mental hospital, which might be warranted at some point, but they're gonna end up erasing the parts of my personalities that make me me, okay? That's where you gotta be like, we gotta talk about this guy. If I come on the stream one time and I'm like, you know what's BS? Diet Pepsi. That's where you gotta be like, oh, he's on today. He must have had a good lunch. Diet Pepsi, classic bit. The Diet Pepsi bit. Okay, we have no keys yet again. I'm not even gonna re-roll this room. It offends me. We have one key. Choose wisely. Okay, I will. Give me this first because I want to get a key out of it. Thank you for Bookworm. Honestly, I'm going to save the last key. No, I'm not going to save the last key. I'm going to get Satanic Bible, but not because I like you or anything, but just because I want to get the guaranteed deal with the devil off of the Satanic Bible play. The HP is whatever. Then our reroll will save for the devil deals. I got to sneeze. Pardon? Achoo me. I choose you. I know, first you're like, his voice is getting hoarse, then you're like, he sneezed. I mean, it's just the changing of the seasons, I promise you. Denial. Okay. You know what? Yes. You know what? I'm a very... you know what? I'm a happy man. Do we have HP left? Maybe we should have stuck with Satanic Bible, but you know what? I'm having fun. And that's the name of the game. Any fun havers in the chat right now? Oh, OMG, me. I thought we would have 3 more HP than this, but it's okay. I think that this is still pretty stitched up, if we want it to be stitched up. We control our own destiny. I am one with the Force, and the Force is one with me. Well, you haven't seen the best Star Wars movie, Rogue One? I wonder if there's other situations like Rogue One. Now, again, you're going to be like, please, God, no more Star Wars talk. Look, I can't help it, okay? It's the defining cultural moment of our time. You're on one side or you're on the other side. Only true Force walkers like me can straddle the line between both loving and revering it and hating it and despising it. Just built different, I suppose. I wonder what kind of other examples there are out there. Movies like Rogue One, where... at its release, it was liked, but has really seen its stock rise post-release because the rest of the Star Wars movies that came out since then are a mess. You know, I think it's a classic example of, like, don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you got till it's gone? I'll be this, like, you know, when Rogue One came out, I was like, that's pretty good. Now that we're, like, what, 6 years past Rogue One's release, I'm like, man, they knocked it out of the park. I didn't realize. I wouldn't have damned it with faint praise back in 2016 or whatever, if I had known that that was as good as it's gonna get. Remember when they tried to make Solo? I mean, they did make Solo, don't get me wrong, but... And I heard Solo was not that bad, but it really was, like... We really hit a point where we're just like, come on, right? Like, I don't need to know the story of every nut and every bolt on the Millennium Falcon. Just, as long as you're constantly, like, nostalgia mining, like, the old Han Solo, we never get, like, a new Han Solo, right? You know, it's like... The irony is that, like, so many of these, like, movies that play on mystery, right? They introduce something that's, like, a little unusual, and then they don't explain it right away. And then you go, whoa, that's crazy. I want to know more about that. And then they resist. They give you a little, oh, you want more? Here's a little tease for you. Here's a little tease for you. And then, like, 5 years later, they're like, hey, you know that thing that you found mysterious? Here's literally everything about it. Thousands of years ago, a golden gem was lost in the universe. That gem was found by Madame Solo. No-nonsense barkeep in the Gorgon system. And you're just like, you know, I guess we're to blame, you know, as the consumer, for mythologizing these characters. Well, no, the companies are to blame. But, like... You know, there is an impulse there to, like, I want to know everything about what happens here. And then when they explain it, you're like, that's not as interesting as what I was thinking in my head. There's like a, oh, come on. It's like the tragedy of storytelling, right? Is that the less you tell, the better. But also, like, the more people want to know. Like, what's the ultimate way to get under someone's skin? You be about to tell them something and then go, oh wait, never mind. You're like, hey, did you see what happened to... Oh wait, never mind. Like, you're never going to be able to have a normal conversation with that person again until you reveal what you were about to say. Even if it was something stupid, you know? Even if you're like, oh, I don't think you'll be interested. They're like, no, I'll tell you whether or not I'm going to be interested. You tell me right now what this piece of secret information is, right? Like... Unknown information is it's like the most tantalizing thing for a human mind. It's delectable. So it's like what these movies do, and I think it's not intentional. I think it's just, you know, as time goes on. No. No. You know, you're like, hey, you know all that you know all those questions you had about Han Solo? Guess what? We're answering them in a movie called Solo. And you're like, can't you just be like a cool guy? Can't you just be a handsome lad, you know, that shot first? Anyway, I don't know. I'm putting the whole system on trial. You guys watching Survivor tomorrow? I was told, VIP Daniel, you watching this episode? I was told it's a double elimination episode by you. Very exciting. Very exciting. Double elimination. My God. Are there two sweeter words in the English language? BPA free? That's one word and one abbreviation. Sometimes they're hyphenated. In stock? That's got to be a good... When you walk up to an electronics store, they got an ad for something that you want, and it says in stock. Oh, man. Ever tell you I got my Nintendo Wii? It's actually, like... So, there were, like, a few electronics items that were super hot that I had to fight to get. Not fist fight, but, like, I had to be, like, a little weasel, right? Like, I had to... Let me just explain. So, for Rock Band 1, when it finally came to Canada, like, a month and a half after it came to the U.S., I called Walmart, like, 5 times a day at, like, ridiculous times. And it was like, is it in? Is it in? And they're like... Oh, yeah, one day they were just like, we just got a shipment. And I was like, skirt. The Wii was the hottest item at the Future Shop of December 2006, right? Christmas vacation, I was like, man, I really want a Wii. Went to Future Shop, didn't expect them to have one. Walked in the door, there was a sales associate holding one over his head. Literally the second I walked in. Said, I've got a Wii, who wants it? And I just said, OMG, me. And then he walked me over to the cash register and checked me out. It was like the most seamless shopping experience of my life. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. See ya.